Was like you're walking through a horror city. Hey guys, in this video I would like to share my America experiences with you.
Let 'em hear my thunder roar. That's what they've been waiting for. So stop, drop, they're never gonna take me.
I was 12 years old when I had the very first chance to see the United States of America. My granddad's brother was living in Detroit at that time and he celebrated his 50th birthday. I was in the lucky situation that he invited me and my grandmother and my granddad took me along. So I was very nervous because it was my very first flight and then over the wild, wild ocean to see the United States of America. We spent only 1 week over there, but we enjoyed the time with the family. We were visiting the Lake Michigan and we made a one-day trip to see Canada. So me as a 12-year-old child could say, I've been to Canada once. But the most special thing about that visit, or the highlight for me, was coming one day later. We were driving in the car and my granduncle said, Julia, look out of the window. So that's what I did. And he said, right now you're standing in front of Eminem's house. What? Oh my gosh, that was so exciting. And back to school, I was swaggering so much with that fact. The second time when I had the chance was October 2007. Our school had a partnership with Peking, China and Idaho in the States, and we could choose in which city we would like to have this exchange. That was no question for me. I was not hesitating a second. Of course, I wanted to see the United States of America once again. So at that time, I had black hair. I was listening to a lot of Gothic music and was really hardworking classical ballet. I exercised more than 5 or 6 times a week. And yes, in October it came to that moment when we were flying from Stuttgart to Atlanta and from Atlanta to Idaho. And that was the moment when our exchange families picked us up. And honestly, I was so excited in what kind of family I would spend the next days. And yeah, lucky me, I had the best exchange mom I could ever have. She was so modern thinking, had a really great sense of humor, and was so open-hearted. I really felt comfortable. She was a single mom with 3 kids. The exchange girl was my age, so 17. The younger one, the middle one, was 14, and the youngest child was 12 years old. I had my space in the lower basement. They had a really huge house and the lower basement was enlarged. I had a really huge bed, but don't think I found so much sleep because they had a cat and a hamster. And this cat was waking me up every night with pressing her little bum in my face. And while the cat was doing something else, this hamster was walking in his squeaky wheel until one day, until the girls forgot to close the door of this cage. And I don't need to tell you what happens when cats and hamsters are playing together. I'm sorry, tiny hamster. It was really special to see how the school system works in the United States and what differences are between school in Germany and school in the States. And And the people were very curious. They asked us a lot of questions. For sure, we also wanted to know many things about them and how their childhood is and how it is to live in the States. One of the most questions I heard was, do you have a boyfriend? And had you had sex before? Are you listening to Rammstein? That was really fun, getting to know those people. One problem was that there was a huge pancake house nearby the school, and so we often cut at school while exploring those adorable pancakes. We never knew that there could be so many sorts of syrup, and so that might be one of the reasons why we gained so much weight within only 1 month. And at that time we also visited the Yellowstone National Park, which was really overwhelming. Because you know, we also have parks in Germany, but they're not as big as the Yellowstone. And to see all these different sorts of stones and these fountains, that was such an overwhelming experience. I love nature, and to see the Yellowstone, which was really famous or is really famous, was so exciting. After that, we started a road trip. So our first station was Reno. And I'm always thinking of Johnny Cash when I hear Reno. What about you? From Reno, we continued our traveling to see San Francisco. The first morning we woke up was when we experienced that our teacher made not a good research where this hotel is located, because we were walking in a group of 5 to walk to the center and to see the middle of San Francisco, and there were so many drug addicted talking to us, and yeah, that was not such a kind experience. But as we arrived at the center, we were driving with the cable cars, and then there was this huge Golden Gate Bridge. I mean, you heard so many things about that. You've seen it on so many postcards and calendars, and right now I can't believe it. I'm standing in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. I was walking over there and called my first love, Tommy, and I really was missing him so bad. That was the time when I realized how much a heart can hurt while missing someone. And I talked to him and said, believe it or not, right now I am standing on the Golden Gate Bridge. Yes, and after that, after seeing San Francisco, we were driving on to see the Death Valley. And that was also really inspiring. I mean, in Germany there are many mountains, and the countries nearby like Austria, and I've been on a lot of those mountains, but now being on the lowest point on Earth was totally different and really exciting for me. We continued our road trip and we're driving on to see Las Vegas. I mean, Las Vegas, how crazy is that? How many people in life get the chance to see this famous city? And as we arrived, it was night, so all dark around. And then you saw this small point of flashing lights. It was just amazing. Yeah, we spent one day over there, and of course we were not playing at the casinos because we were 17, but we saw so many things around the city, and I always told myself I need to come back when I'm 21. Yeah, right now I'm older than 21 and I didn't make it so far, but it's still on my traveling list. You know, I also went to see New York, and maybe I can combine that. After Las Vegas, we were driving on to see the Grand Canyon, which was one of the most breathtaking experiences I ever had. You know, I was standing in front and was so overwhelmed by seeing this and feeling this small step of our planet's history. And I was breathing the air, just felt this freedom in my heart, and was really, really impressed. I mean, this is just a small thing of history, of our planet's history and our lifespan. In contrast to that, is not even a blink. That made me feel really small as a human, but also shows that we might be really thankful for our lives and what we can do. Then we were driving on, visited the Bryce Canyon, and made really nice experiences on the road. And after seeing the Grand Canyon, we were just driving back to Idaho, where we spent one more week. And that was Halloween time. You know, I knew Halloween before. Of course, we also celebrated in Germany, but to see how they decorate their houses was like you're walking through a horror city. And you need to know, I try to avoid to see too many horror movies because I cannot sleep anymore. So it was really, really exciting. We were also invited to a Halloween party, and okay, we were 17. The parents were joining us. We were drinking apple juice, and yeah, it was as boring as you might think right now. And I remember a friend of mine, and we were walking outside, hiding behind a car and smoking a quick cigarette, hoping the others won't smell it. Yeah, and then came the time to say goodbye. But honestly, I was missing Tommy, my first love, and my family so bad. I was happy to come home again. And of course, I was so thankful for seeing all these monuments, all these great cities that everybody is talking about, that you know from many postcards and that stuff. And I was in the lucky situation, I had the chance to see this all by my own, which was really amazing. So much for today. Bye.